Welcome, Apprentice Nation, to this session on what does it mean to be made redundant. My name is Lewis, and some of you may have heard this word redundancy before and been thinking like, what is that? How does that work? What does that mean in practice? Well, in this session, we are going to answer all of those questions. So if you're joining this session and maybe you're experiencing redundancy, or someone who has been made redundant, or you're just curious, considering whether, because we're facing a recession at the moment, will it affect you? We're going to be covering everything that you need to know. Coping with redundancy can affect a person's life dramatically, and there are three main ways actually that redundancy can have an effect on a person. First of all, financially. Money and mental health are often linked, yeah? When we're struggling with our mental health, it can be very hard to manage our finances. And if we're worried about money, it can make our mental health worse. And of course, if you've been made redundant, you no longer have a job. So money would be the first thing that you're likely to worry about. Then the next impact that it has is mentally. See, being out of work can have a big impact on your self-esteem and your sense of identity. So if your job has always been a big part of your life, you may wonder who you are. And you may also think to yourself, will this further affect my mental health through the stress and worry that's continuing to arise? And for those of you who have families to look after, the pressure of trying to find funds elsewhere can lead you to having potential mental breakdowns. The final impact is social. Because see, here's the thing, financially and mentally, that can lead to having an impact on someone socially. The mental side of being insecure mixed with the financial side, that's therefore including the lack of funds that you have, will mean that you may not want to interact with others as frequently. So as you can see, these can all be difficult to manage. And that is why if you know someone who's going through redundancy, please ensure that you can provide them the support that they need. Signpost them to the support that they can get. And if you're the person that's facing redundancy, we're going to be covering what you can be getting up to in the meantime. Now, you may say that's a silly question. I'd obviously be looking at other jobs. Now, although that's expected, if you find yourself in a situation of redundancy, it will feel uncertain at times. Strictly focusing on bulk applying for jobs and waiting for those to be able to come back to you and hope that you've successfully passed on to the next stage, well, to be honest with you, that may drive you insane. So here's a few other things that you can be doing and getting up to ensure that you keep your mind focused, but also contribute to making the process easier. First of all, you can upskill yourself. There are so many things such as online courses, YouTube videos, even learning through TikTok. This could be a chance for you to find a new thing to shape your future. Another thing you could be getting up to is interning. Right now, we're in a recession. COVID-19 has meant lots of companies are happy to be able to take on those who are willing to support and lend an extra hand. So if you can grab the chance to take on some free work that will be used to build your portfolio, build your CV, do it. You can also be volunteering. When is it ever a bad time to volunteer? Helping out in your local youth club, working for a charity, it doesn't matter, but do something good because it will honestly make you feel good too. Of course, you could be working on your LinkedIn profile. Ensure all of your details are correct. Send out a message to your network and mentions, letting them know that you're looking for new opportunities, and even set up your LinkedIn to actually say you're looking for work. You could also be working on your CV, being able to upload all of the different things that you've done in the last 1, 2, and even 4 years, so that when you start applying for jobs, your CV really stands out. This session has been heavy. Let's slow it down, take a little pause, and let's actually play a game of trivia. All right, guys, so grab your pen, grab your pencil, grab your device, whatever you need to do, because there will be, there's not gonna be prizes, but regardless, we're gonna play a game. So here's how it's gonna go. Our first question is a true or false. So, true or false, 194,706 people in the UK have been made redundant this year. True or false? 194,706 people in the UK have been made redundant this year. Now we're going to go into our next question. Again, another true or false. So you only have to select from 2 options. If you are made redundant, you have to wait 2 months before you can go into a new job. True or false? If you are made redundant, you have to wait 2 months before you can go into a next job. Now we're going into question 3. So with this one, I want you to tell me which of the following statements are false. So you need to select one out of the following statements and tell me which one is false. When can an employer make a person redundant? Option 1, they think they are lazy. Option 2, they want to decrease the company size. Or option 3, they no longer need your job role. So option 1, they think you're lazy. Option 2, they want to decrease the company size. Or option 3, they no longer need your job role. Which one of those is false? And our final question, which of the following statements is true? Which of the following statements is true? To be redundant, you are 1, on a fixed contract, 2, you're unemployed, or 3, you're out of work for 6 months. So again, to be redundant, you are 1, on a fixed contract, 2, unemployed, or 3, out of work for 6 months. Which of those statements is true? So now it's time for our answers. So reflect back on what you wrote down earlier and let's see how many of these you got right. So our first question was, true or false, 194,706 people in the UK have been made redundant this year. And the answer is, that was true. That is true. Just under 200,000 people have been made redundant in the UK this year. So it's very important that they take the kind of advice we've been sharing in this session. Our next question was, true or false, if you are made redundant, you have to wait 2 months before you can go into a new job role. And the answer there is actually false. You do not have to wait 2 months. You can actually start taking action immediately and start to see what may be available for me in terms of the next move for my career. Our next question was, which of the following statements is false? When can an employer make a person redundant? 1, they think they're lazy. 2, they want to decrease the company size. Or 3, they no longer need your job role. And the one that is false is they think you're lazy. An employer cannot make you redundant just because they think you're lazy. However, if they are decreasing the company size or no longer need your job role, then that is a situation where an employer may make someone redundant. Finally, our question that we ended with was, which of the following statements is true? To be made redundant or to be redundant, you are on a fixed contract, you are unemployed, or you are out of work for 6 months. The truth there is that if you are redundant, then you are unemployed. People who are redundant wouldn't be on a fixed contract, and people who are redundant wouldn't have just simply been out of work for 6 months. People who are made redundant are unemployed. So now, we were going to consider, we said at the start of the session, if you're someone who's facing redundancy, if you're looking to support someone who may be facing redundancy, where can you go to be able to get the advice and support you may be looking for? Well, the first place would be Citizens Advice, to find out if you're eligible to receive things such as redundancy pay or other forms of support. You've also got Turn to Us. So Turn to Us provides general redundancy advice, but they also offer free, confidential, non-judgmental advice to help you to deal with those challenges. Then you've got your local job centre. So they specialise in helping people who've been made redundant. You've also got gov.uk. So to find out your employee rights, such as a notice period or a consultation with your employer, or the option to move into a different job, as well as maybe if you're going to be given time off to help find a new job. These places can all help to assist anyone who's made redundant. All right, cool guys. So as we come to the close of this session, I just wanted to remind you that this is the Apprentice Nation schedule, and here are our 6 keys to success. All of the details for this are available on the website, and please do make sure that you're tapping into everything that we've made available to you as part of this program. However, I would like to call out 3 short sets that really link well to this topic of moving on from redundancy. So if you haven't caught them already, please do go back to the program, find those and take those in, because you'll learn a lot from them. The first one is how to find jobs and apply online, which is perfect for the time we're living in at the moment. The next one is our short set on personal branding. You know, as a professional, it's very important to be able to position yourself in such a way where you can be attractive to potential employers. And the final one is the importance of having a mentor. You know, having someone that can support you on your career journey, who's walked a path before you and can therefore guide you in terms of some of the decisions that you can make is so invaluable when you're on your career journey. So thank you guys very much. Really appreciate you joining us for this particular short set. I wish you all the best in your career. Go out there and make it happen.